You guys might remember late last year when I went down to Apex, North Carolina for the grand opening of the first Ioniq rechargery. I got a flat tire in the parking lot and it was a hassle. I had to use the tire inflator kit to get the car over to a tire shop. Luckily it was open for 1 more hour. They were able to replace the tire because I had really no option. I had to leave first thing the next morning to get back up to New England. Getting that 1 new tire ended up costing me about 350 bucks or so. And it just took me away from the event. I didn't get to chat with all the people there that I wanted to. So it all around just kind of sucked. And that got me thinking about something that I have seen people recommending for a couple years now, because these cars do not come with spare tires anymore. They only come with that tire inflation kit. And that's why I'm here today to tell you guys about Modern Spare. This is a spare tire kit that I bought. It includes a spare tire that's the full circumference of the stock tire, a jack, a tire iron, some other stuff. So basically you can be on a road trip, replace your own tire yourself, and you're back on the road again. Continental makes their rubber and these tires are rated for 80 miles per hour. That doesn't necessarily mean you should drive at 80 miles per hour, but they're perfectly fine up to it. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you what comes in the kit, how to utilize it, and what I think about it. So without further ado, let's jump in and get a tire replaced. So first things first, when you buy this kit, I think it's about 450 bucks or so, I can't remember exactly, but you can get multiple variations. You can get just the tire, you can get the tire in a couple accessories, and then you can get the tire and this nice carrying case with all those accessories. So you do get a handle on the top, which is nice for carrying it because it is pretty heavy. Even a shoulder strap if you want to hoist it around on your shoulder. On the back side of the case, there is some Velcro, so if you didn't want it kind of sliding around on the cargo floor, you peel this off and then this will kind of grip it. But let me show you where I think is the best place to store it in the car. So one of the coolest things about the Modern Spare with the Ioniq 5 is it actually fits in this gap between the back seat and the trunk area when you do slide the seat forward. So let's go ahead, put the Modern Spare in, slide the seat back. It's good to go. It's not cutting into your cargo capacity. Obviously, if you need to put somebody in the back seat, they're gonna have to sit over there or you're gonna have to chop their legs off. All right, so let's pop it open and see what's included. Everything is nicely packaged in here. You get, looks like a reflective yellow vest so you don't get run over. You get some markers that you can put behind the car in case you're on a really busy road. You get some gloves to protect your hands. You get a couple folding wheel chocks. We'll definitely want to use those. They are also orange so that you don't forget them. And then here in the center, it looks like where your jack and tire iron are. They're nicely strapped down so they're not going to kind of rattle around or anything. There's a hasp on the side that you just kind of open up and then that will come out. I'm going to save all this packaging too so I can kind of put it back together nicely. So here is a ratchet for the lugs for the spare tire. Looks like a garbage bag or something. Maybe just some plastic for you to kneel on so you don't get your clothes all dirty. Okay, here's all your tools. Looks like double-sided socket. And then this is like your 2-piece tire iron. So you would put this on the wheel nut and then this just free spins so that you can just twist that to get the existing nuts off. Here's your jack. This is rated for the weight of the car. You can see it's got a nice fitting on top to fit on that pinch weld. The capacity 2,000 kilograms, so that's more than enough for this car. Down here's a little registration card, 5-year warranty, limited lifetime alloy wheel defect warranty, 5-year warranty against defects on jack and related tools. Scan the QR code to register your product. Take that off, we don't need that. Here's the wheel itself. It is an alloy wheel, and you can see this is max speed, 50 miles per hour. It's been tested up to 80 miles per hour. Temporary use only. You can see here it is made by Continental. Got a nice gloss black finish. Not that you're going to have this on your car for too long, but it doesn't look too bad. So let's go ahead, pop the wheel off the car, and get this thing mounted. So the parking brake on the car is already engaged. Now we're going to take the chocks, and we're going to go ahead and stick those under the wheels, just in case, so it doesn't roll. So we'll do both of the rear wheels. Get those stuck under there. Something you will need that comes with your car out of the tire mobility kit is this little hook tool. So when you come over to your wheel, you're going to say, where are the lug nuts? They're hidden behind this plastic cover, so you're going to take this tool, insert it in there, and then pull straight out, and that will release the cover. Then you can access your lug nuts. So now that we got that cover off, let's get the jack in place. So to place the jack under the rocker panel here, you're going to see the pinch weld is located right here between those two notches. That's where you're going to stick this part of the jack. So you want to get the jack pretty close to where it needs to be. Pop this little red cover off. That exposes the bolt that you're going to use the provided wrench to kind of raise it up. You change the direction with this little switch. So to get this raised, you're going to take your wrench, pop it on the end there, and then just ratchet it up. You can kind of twist it up by hand too if you want to do that. And then you just want to get that pinch weld sitting in the groove of the jack. See if I can show you guys a little bit better. So then you just want to get that groove on the jack sitting on top of that pinch weld. Snug it up. And then you can start ratcheting it some more, and you should see the car start to lift. So now that the car is starting to get jacked up off the ground, now we want to loosen these nuts while the wheel still has some friction on the tire so that it doesn't spin when we try breaking those nuts. So here on the Ioniq 5, you're going to be using the 21mm socket. Just kind of pop that on, take this, put that on, slip this through the center, just like so. And if you can't break it just like this, they did include an extension for the breaker bar so you can get a little bit more leverage. Let's kind of see what this is like right now, and it's fairly loose. Perfect. Those torquing robots at the new factory are doing a good job of not putting these on too tight. So those are all just cracked. So now we're going to keep jacking the car up until this will then spin freely, and then we get a little bit of a gap underneath the tire. That's pretty good. Pop that wrench off. So we don't really need this breaker bar on here anymore. So we'll just kind of get these off. Five. All right, so at this point, we should be able to take the wheel off. Make sure you do not lose those lug nuts. I'm not going to pop those gloves on right now because I'm just going to go inside and wash my hands after this, but we'll just go ahead, pull that right off. Let's go ahead, bring in our modern spare, all shiny and new. Now you're going to notice that this wheel has 10 openings for bolts. That's because this can be used on different vehicles. So they give you a bunch of mounting options. This is, I believe, 114.3 millimeters, which is pretty standard for Asian cars. But basically, you're just going to rotate this until you find the pattern that lines up. That's what it looks like right there. And then you're just going to take your lug nuts, get them on there, start finger tightening them. Then you can take this tool, start tightening them up that way. And you want to go in a star pattern. Just kind of wiggle the wheel around to make sure it's seated flat. Then you want to go around in that star pattern again. Just snug them up. And that's good. So you can see it's still rotating. So what we're going to do now is lower the jack a little bit so that this is nice and tight against the ground so we can tighten up those lug nuts. So I flipped the switch on the wrench here, and now the car should be going down. So there we go. It's not rotating anymore, so now we can take this, pop the bar through, and and really snug those up. Now, they don't need to be extremely tight. Sometimes it helps to stand up to get some leverage. Obviously, you're not going to have a torque wrench with you, most likely, on the side of the road. But just tighten them up. Then at this point, you can go ahead and lower it all the way. And once it's down low enough, you can kind of loosen it with your fingers, pull it out. You're ready to be on your way. Just throw all this stuff back in the trunk and hit the road. Don't forget to grab your wheel chocks. So the new spare tires, 155/90 R18. The stock tires are 255/45 R20s. And if you go to tirecomparison.com, you will see that they sized this tire appropriately because the circumference difference between the two tires is only 0.2 inches. So that means 91 inches on the spare, 91.2 on the OEM wheel. You can see the width is drastically different. The spare is only 6.1 inches, whereas the stock tire is 10 inches wide. So your traction is going to be definitely down quite a bit, but it's enough to get you to where you need to get the tire repaired or back to your home in a safe fashion. All right, so there you have it, guys. That's how to use your modern spare on your Hyundai Ioniq 5. They sell this for every car imaginable, so you can check them out on Amazon, on their website. I'll have a link to the Ioniq 5 version down in the description below. That will be an affiliate link, so if you guys do decide to purchase one, I'll get a little bit of commission, but it doesn't cost you anything more. Seems very high quality, easy to use. I love that they give you a kit that has every single thing you need. If you really don't want to deal with the tire inflation kit or a plug kit, this is going to be your best option. Fits right behind the back seat, so it doesn't eat into your cargo capacity. All around, great solution. They seem like a really good company. They really stand behind their products. They have a good warranty, so be sure to check them out. I can tell you one thing, after my last road trip and dealing with that, I will not be going on any more road trips without my modern spare tire. So anyway, guys, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. Check out my store at ioniqguy.com for accessories for your Hyundai, Kia, or Genesis EV. Consider becoming a channel member for as little as 99 cents per month. For $3 per month, you can get a 5% discount to my store, as well as early access to all of these videos before they're released to the general public. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.